Okay guys, welcome back. It's the second series of the night, Apocalypse versus JimRising coming at ya. It's going to be on Terraform for map number 1.
That is very true, sir. And this is going to be a Terran versus Zerg. Now, Apocalypse, he's been around for ages, but he has not been playing very much as of recent. So, it's going to be interesting to see what he can bring to the table. JimRising, though, probably one of the best Zergs coming out of South America.
Yeah.
He's been having very deep runs in Copa America. I do believe that he was trying to get through to WCS, but just barely managing to make it on through. And, well, I mean, in general, I haven't been keeping too much of my eye on the South American scene, but we are here now in the map. We've loaded in, so I'm just going to let you go right ahead and introduce our players.
Wonderful. Up here then in the top left, we have our blue Terran player. Currently teamless. He is Apocalypse. Classic Korean Terran.
Oh no, is okay. Well, his opponent down here is the Red Zerg playing for Endurance Esports. It is going to be JimRising. And you know what? It's well, so 888.
Yep.
Good way to open things up here in a TVZ. And I don't think JimRising is going to scout for this, to be honest.
No, it certainly doesn't look like it. Unless he sends a drone out like about now to start looking around his base. And yeah, his Overlord's on scouting path. He's not going to have any idea about this until the Reaper jumps in. And if he's gone for a hatch first, no, it is pool first. That's lucky for him. Otherwise, he would be in big trouble. But it's still going to be tough to avoid taking too much damage.
Yeah, a very, very key moment here that it wasn't a hatchery first. Because, I mean, imagine if you went hatch gas pool, like the greediest variation you can possibly do. Mm-hmm. You would be in a lot of trouble. No SCV sent out on the map yet, though, to start that bunker. Oh, never mind. I just realized, you know, he's got an SCV already on the side of the map. But should see that bunker going down right away here, as the first Reaper has been started. And still no intel here for Jim. He has no idea what's going on.
Oh boy, the first SCV comes in. I think, did JimRising see that? I didn't catch it, but he's not reacted if he did. He did. The spawning pool, just out of vision range is that bunker. Great position here from Apocalypse. He can even actually wall it off entirely, this natural round with just a couple of depots if he wants to. But Apocalypse with the Reaper coming out now. Going to finish up just about in time with these Lings, and as the Overlord gets in range of that bunker.
Needs to buy time for this SCV to finish things up. Will he be able to, though?
Just
the bunker is going to finish, and the Reaper, and even the SCV does get into the safety. Yeah, so now he can start repairing, but needs to be very careful here. The Lings can wrap around easily on creep. Second Reaper on the way, and that's when things get even tricky here. But that Queen, soon done in the main, is really going to help out a lot.
Yeah, having the ranged units to actually be able to ensure that the Reapers do take some damage every time they come in and poke is absolutely vital. This second Reaper doubling the killing power of this little strike force here from Apocalypse. Going to be chipping away at drones, getting the first drone still here, and nice focus fire down the injured Lings. They can even start chipping away at this Queen. It's going to heal a lot slower than the Reapers do with their combat drugs.
That is very true. Second, we're actually two Queens on the way here. One in the natural, one in the main. More Lings. This is so annoying, right? Because it forces so many units. And a ton of money to be committed into this. And now, 3 Reapers out here. It's going to stop running down. So it does get the repair on, but no. Will be forced to actually get up there. Focus fires that SCV for just a brief moment. Will ensure that comes down. Now these Reapers need to be very careful in order to not overextend, because now we have 2 Queens out in the main. And the drones trying to go for the wraparound. It needs to be so careful. It's going to end up losing 1 Reaper. That is heavily going to reduce the amount of killing power here for these for this attack for Apocalypse, who's now going to be forced to actually get out of there for a second.
Yeah, 3 Reapers exactly enough to 2-shot drones, but with just the 2. There is a third one that's finished up here for Apocalypse as well, but he's going to back on off, lifts up the barracks. The aggression is over for now, and Apocalypse has secured himself a little bit of a worker lead and some breathing room with which to establish his command center, and a factory going down. JimRising's moving across the map with these lings. Speed's on the way. And Apocalypse, I mean, he's going to have the Reapers to fend it off. But it's going to be still pretty tough for him to actually take that natural base. Land that CC for a little while.
Oh, wait, how many lings are there right now? I mean, there's too many.
Yeah,
ooh, this is actually a bit of a mistake here from Jim.
Yeah, he's actually gone too far out before speed finishes. Manages to find a couple hits in that bush. But yeah, every single link is cleaned up.
Ouch. That really sucks here for JimRising, because that means that he virtually lost. What was it? How many links did he lose there? Like 8, between 8 and 10. That's 5 lava that he's going to be forced to spend on not drones. So that's going to hurt his economy. And now he's only going to have these queens, and of course, like you mentioned before, combat drugs. Make sure those Reapers heal up very, very fast. Is he even going to land the barracks in the third base and continuously apply light pressure here to the front lines of JimRising with these 3 Reapers?
Yeah, this is really interesting. It's going to deny the third base a decent while. Barracks have quite a bit of health. And behind this, of course, the Hellions coming out. Reaper Hellion harassed. Very, very strong. The Reapers adding that extra bit of consistent DPS and some refreshable tanking to poke in and harass queens and swoop tumors and such. This Reaper just going for mineral line now. It's going to scout what it can see. Sees, of course, this lair and just the single gas. So, yeah, he knows basically everything he needs to. Whoa! Wow, actually jumped over those lings. Still gonna die, but...
Yeah, that's, I was like, whoa! Good dodge. But, you know, okay, so he comes in there, sees the lair, didn't see the additional gas, but to me it really sort of feels as if it was going to be muted, but as I say that, Roach Run does go down, together with that Evolution Chamber. So, he's gonna just try to secure himself this third base, and then I guess rely on Roaches for that defensive power. Perhaps we'll even see him try to go for some light aggression. I'd really like that, actually. Because Apocalypse, now he's going to start powering up to get into mech. It does look like.
Yeah, he actually doesn't want to lose this barracks that he was using to block the hatchery, because this is his only barracks at the minute, so he needs it for all his tech. But yeah, I like the decision to go into this Roach Run in front of JimRising. Decent +1 Roach push or something, I think could actually do quite a lot of damage to Apocalypse, given the fact that the barracks have been all the way across the map. There's very, very little production and therefore very little army actually out to defend for Apocalypse. These Hellions wouldn't do anything against Roaches. The Banshee would be about the only chance, but looks like he's going to move in here to some solid damage to the Queens. They can't quite take out the Banshee before they fall, and he can start getting to work on this third hatchery while Apocalypse threatens a workaround by...
Get straight away, man. He had nothing on the ground. Roaches in production? Yeah, sure. What are you gonna do? And bear in mind, you know, with the armory behind that back at home, he could even go right and into making those Hellions into Hellbats, make them much more durable, and of course harder to deal with. And then of course the loss of those Queens, nothing to hurt the Banshee. So just no other option than to tap out, which means that Apocalypse picks up the first map in this best out of 5.
Yes, absolutely. And the next map is going to be Iron Fortress. So, very different map than Terraform. Huge four-spawn map. Different possibility of macroing. But that third base can be a little tough to secure with how far away it is.
Yeah, that's very true. You will have to really get your creep spread going for something like that. So maybe, you know, we'll probably see JimRising play into 3 queen or 2 queen for creep spread, just to make sure that he can safely hold on to that third hatchery. But I mean, it all comes down to how we see these players open. Maybe we'll see JimRising or Apocalypse again, you know, go for something cheeky. Because you can go and actually plant those racks in the center of the map by that Selnaga tower. So we'll have to see what he decides to do. Already opening things up here with that 888 though, and doing considerable amounts of damage. Yeah,
definitely a good choice. Good way to open up that a series as well. Kind of keeps your opponent... Keeps them on their toes a bit, thinking, oh, is he going to be aggressive again? What's going on? And we saw Jon Snow actually didn't really work out for him, but did the same sort of thing, just aggression, and then finally in the final map, he was like, right, I'm gonna play about as greedy as I can, and well, I mean, he won the game, so who am I to say it didn't work out for him?
Well, we are now in the lobby, and Just making sure that everyone is ready and good to go, guys. Map is Iron Fortress. Here for game number 2, and the countdown has begun. So, larger map now, Trig, and well, we'll see what these players decide to do. I'm kind of hoping that Apocalypse, you know, continuously plays a bit cheesy here, sort of getting under the skin of his opponent, but who knows? Can see anything.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but here we are. It is, of course, Iron Fortress, and up in the top left, the red Zerg player from Endurance Esports. It's JimRising.
And here in the top right, as the blue Terran. Currently teamless, it is going to be none other than Apocalypse.
Yes, indeed, and JimRising gets a nice little advantage with this Overlord, scouting in the correct direction first. And it doesn't look like we see any super cheese from Apocalypse this game, any proxy racks in the middle of the map or anything like that. So,
Well, I mean, he could technically 11-11 still.
yes, I guess, but I don't know. I'm
Nah, it's just me, you know, hoping a little too much here.
I guess. I'd find a CC first much more likely on Iron Fortress.
Yeah, that's actually, I actually really like CC first openings. They're a little bit risky, of course, because if your opponent decides to go for that pool first, they'll send 4 6-lings across, and then, you know, if you're not ready for it, they can sometimes, you know, we even see 4 Zerglings or 6 Zerglings cancel a command center first on the low ground. And that always sucks really, really hard for the Terran, but not going to be anything sort of crazy coming out of JimRising. We're going to have a hatch first versus a CC first here. So, macro openings for both of our players.
Yeah, pretty standard here. Should be taking it a little bit longer than last game, certainly. And remains to be seen whether it'll take it into the real kind of late game. Of course, both players, well, Terrans at least, Apocalypse, fairly comfortable in that kind of mid-stage of the game where bio pushes start to be able to beat down on 3rd and 4th bases, and we see that reflected in his win rate, which all these stats provided by Spawning Tool peaks at 83% for games that are finish in the 12 to 16 minute mark.
I think that's a really cool feature with Spawning Tool. The fact that you can actually see like the average duration or length of games of how people are playing. So with that, you know, you can really read into their styles. Like you mentioned, you know, he likes to finish the games between 12 and 16 minutes, and that sort of indicates that. Okay, I have to make sure this is right. So within 12 to 16 minutes, I guess that's like you're operating off of 3 bases and you're just churning out bio units, constantly going for these rally death kind of pushes.
Yeah,
and I mean it's really that sort of style that just forces your Zerg opponent to be comfortable in going into that macro. And they have to have good decision making, and they have to be very solid on their control and stuff like that, because otherwise they will just outright die to a Terran who's good with playing for that rally style.
Yeah, but if JimRising is able to hold it off, then he should be in really, really good stead if he can take it into the long game. And it's not often that you'd say that about foreign Zerg against when you compare them to a Korean Terran. But like you mentioned at the start, Apocalypse, he's perhaps a little out of practice. He's been away from the scene for a while. He's just starting to get back into it. And, whoa!
Yeah, that's really annoying for JimRising.
Goes a bit.
Look at this. Now he's going to be supply blocked for quite some time now. He's not even starting the Overlord right away. There we are.
Yeah, one going in. But
yeah, that's a good 25 seconds.
He might lose the second one as well. Yeah, these. Gonna find it.
This is gonna suck so hard. Ouch.
That's annoying. But
yeah, really bad starting for JimRising, to be honest. Losing 2 Overlords. Like 1, sure, it happens, but 2, no way, man.
Yeah, that is really bad. One Overlord goes down, and you think, oh, that's kind of annoying. Oh well. I guess I'll just make another Overlord. Then the second one goes down as well, and you're like, I haven't been able to produce any drones for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
And I mean, this is really reflected in JimRising's supply book. There we are now, finally manages to alleviate that, but I mean, this has really slowed down his drone count, and everything else really However, though, throwing down that Roach Warren now, with speed finishing up as well. A couple of Lings in production. Are we perhaps going to see some light aggression coming out of Jim here?
It's possible. He might just want to try and secure a bit more map control and stop like 2 Marines killing off all his overlords. Or maybe he just wants something to kind of force the Hellions away a little bit. He's actually sending them all the way across the map, so they're going to dip down here into Zelnaga Tower. Avoid those Hellions, so very, very nicely timed there by JimRising as they run around, possibly searching for a greedy third base.
I think that's what he's up to. But now the Hellions come on in here. 4 Hellions in total. Only a single queen out on the defense. We'll have to start splitting these drones very well. Already a handful of them going down. The 6 drones in total have been roasted. 8 now. So lots of value being found here with these Hellions. This is excellent. 9 drones for only a single Hellion. Oh, that's that too.
9 drones for 2 Hellions is still a very good trade. Even if all 4 of these Hellions end up going down, I'd say it was very much worthwhile there.
Absolutely. I mean, look at this. His drone count is so low. The supply blocking being paired with those drone losses really, really hurting Jim's economy. And now with the Banshee out as well, we'll see if Apocalypse can find some more damage with this. He's keeping it very defensive at home, though, for now.
Yeah, maybe just a little worried about some kind of Roach Warren or something. So. He did see a Roach Warren, so I guess he's just a little wary. Doesn't want to be caught out by 12 roaches arriving on his front door while his Banshee's across the map. But
yeah, that's true.
It looks like he's going to send out with the second Banshee, maybe. Triple Lings find a Marine. And all got cleaned up in the end. Not the best trade for JimRising again.
Look at that. Another Overlord is going to go down.
Same place as the first.
Yeah, so, okay, lesson learned here, kids. Stay out of this little crevasse there. So, it doesn't supply block him, at least. 16 more Lings in production. Lair has just finished now for Jim. And Apocalypse now really starting to get this production up and running. He's got 4 more racks finishing up here. 1-1 started as well as that third command center being transformed or morphed into an orbital. So soon we're really going to be seeing Apocalypse kicking into action, kicking into gear. As JimRising right now. What is he doing? He's still only 54 drones. His drone count is so unbelievably low.
Yeah, for this time in the game, you'd expect him to be far, far above. But that's what that really early damage does. It kind of, because of how, especially the Zerg economy snowballs with their lava production. You take another base, which gets you more. Oh, these 3 Banshees are scary for us.
Yeah, no transfuses available here. We'll have to fight under that spore, but nice pullback microwave from Apocalypse. He's going to find 1 queen. Oh, he needs to be mindful over that spore. He's now literally like 1 HP as these Banshees continue to do some light damage. 1 Banshee ends up falling there, but another queen is traded off as well. However, Ling's heading towards this third base of Apocalypse is going to force that liftoff. So can't enjoy the benefits of mining from that just yet.
He's not going to be too happy about that, but oh, this is a big drone transfer. Apocalypse could find here, but actually he doesn't have to get any drones from it. He should be able to pick off this queen with quite a bit of energy. That's nice.
Oh, can he even perhaps kill out another queen here? The Banshee is in the red. Oh, Apocalypse not paying attention here. That's the second Banshee just firing away at an extractor. What a waste. We'll be able to eventually kill it. He has to pull out of there unless he actually wants to give it up. I don't really agree with this, and now especially with mutas on the field, is going to be able to take that down. However, though, look at that, in the middle of the map, Apocalypse is moving out now with a pair of Mando Axe and a handful of Bio with 1-1 upgrades.
Yeah, he's hit his power timing. Stim's done on this Bio, Comrade Field's coming soon enough as well, and these nucleus just cannot compete with Stim Marines.
There's no Baneling Nest out.
Oh my god.
Got the Baneling Nest. It's starting just now.
This is such bad news for JimRising here. Apocalypse is going to march in here and just annihilate this third base. He's trying to make the hold with pull drones, Lings from behind, and the Mutas rain their damage down from Sky. It might just be enough to push Apocalypse back, but it's a costly defense there from JimRising.
26 drones have died in this game. JimRising down to 51 drones to the 71 SCVs here of Apocalypse, who's now sending up another double drop. Even going to end up losing a mutant there to Widowmine planted in the 4th base. And right now, JimRising in shambles in terms of infrastructure and economy. I mean, he's just been continuously been taking lots and lots of damage, way more damage than is acceptable here from Apocalypse. And now to drop in the main, as well as Mutas get traded off outside the natural of a Terran. This is not looking good here for JimRising.
GG, and Apocalypse chalks up another 12 to 16 minute win with victory over the South American Zerg JimRising. So that is 2-0, and once again, Apocalypse finds himself on the cusp of victory here.
It's the best place to be and the worst place to be. It's very black and white. I mean, he's been looking really comfortable, and there's just sort of JimRising hasn't really been able to contend with the pressure that comes out of his opponent. He's just continuously been caught out at these very awkward timings, losing the Lings in the first map there to those Reapers as he sent them across the map. So he didn't really have any viable base defense, and now again the Hellions coming in, killing off a couple of drones. It's just as if Apocalypse keeps finding these holes all the time, or as if he's making them in the defense of his opponent. And JimRising just really struggling to sort of maintain his composure.
Yeah, finding it really difficult there. But I mean, that's what Apocalypse does. Just starts applying that pressure and really never stops. It's something that Terran's pretty good at. Just from the first Reaper to a little bit of Reaper Hellion harass, even into a Banshee. And looks like both our players are ready. So Cactus Valley going to be the third and possibly final map here in these guys' best of 5.
Another full player map, so it's going to be a lot of space to maneuver. There's a decent amount of airspace on this map, like hard corners to cover, stuff like that, from which you can utilize medevac drops very well. We'll see if it gets to that stage of the game, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen, loaded in to map number 3 in this series. It is going to be Cactus Valley, and our Terran spawning in the top left. In the blue, it is going to be Apocalypse.
And then horizontal positions over in the top right-hand corner. He has his back up against the wall. One more map loss, and he's out. From Endurance Esports, it is JimRising.
Yeah, he's really going to be forced to put his endurance to the test in this one, because he has to win 3 games in a row in order to turn things around, and as we know, that is very, very tough. But I mean, anything can happen, because we saw that just today, WCS, players dropping down 2-0, and then all of a sudden turning things around.
Yeah, if JimRising has managed to get a bit of a handle on Apocalypse and can survive through to the late stage of the game, he should be in a pretty good stead. Apocalypse actually doesn't do so hot in the late stages. 25-minute games or longer, he actually only has a 28% win rate, and that's where JimRising is at his strongest. So we'll see how much as a player can actually string the game out here on Cactus Valley.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's continuously all been coming down to the fact that he just takes way too much damage from these little poking and harassing attacks from Apocalypse. And, you know, if he can make sure to not suffer absolutely detrimental damage each time something like that happens, I think he's going to be in much better shape, because he's always had a very shaky start with 2 broken legs and on crutches as he sort of segues into the mid-game, and he can't even stand straight up on a segue at that point in both of the games, because he's been taking so much economical damage. So if he can just make sure to not take damage here from Apocalypse when he starts attacking him, then I think we're going to have a different game. But so far, coming into the mid-game, he's always been playing from behind.
Yeah, he's never been really in that strong position that you want to be, or really in any kind of position. He's never managed to take it to... I wouldn't even say take it like fully into the mid-game. It's just been harass and harass and harass from Apocalypse. Last time, JimRising died to like a push out of a handful of bio and 2 medevacs.
Yeah, those Banshees as well end up doing a ton of damage. The Hellions, like, yeah, it's not so much an attack as it is harassment killing him.
One thing after another.
Yeah, it's in like small portions. It's like a 3-course meal with razor blades and like shotgun shells and stuff like that.
Invisible airstrikes.
Yeah. Drone strikes.
Exactly. Cactus Valley, though, is a pretty good map for Apocalypse to be playing this out, I have to say. I guess there are better spawns he could have, but I don't know. These are okay for Apocalypse. He gets a fairly decent drop path from, you know, where his army will be on the front of his natural, straight into JimRising's main base. If JimRising wants to take a fourth, he's either going to have to expand towards Apocalypse, as Apocalypse is like to take his third base over here on the same kind of low ground as JimRising's potential fourth, or he's going to have to take it on the opposite side, so far away from his third, that it's really, really tough to defend. Because
yeah, it's like, you know, either base is going to be a risk. He expands towards his opponent. It's much easier here for Apocalypse to go for that parade push and kill him, just to get straight up into his face, or he takes the one that you mentioned there down to the south, which is very exposed because it's just so far off. So it's very easy for the Terran to just send 2 medevacs across the map, or even just march over there with a handful of bio. We'll have to see, though, you know, can JimRising get to that stage of the game? Is he even looking to get into that stage of the game? Because we see 6 lings on the production tab, 3 roaches, man, and he's only operating off of 26 drones. He's going to go and play for the roach bust, as Apocalypse now starts that Hellion production, starport halfway done. And we don't even know if he's going to be going into those Banshees, because we haven't had a tech lab started on that barracks just yet. So, Apocalypse right now is looking very vulnerable.
yeah, he is. He's played very, very greedy. 1-1-1 up Protectory, and off the back of, I think it was a CC first as well. All he's got out is 2 Marines, and although they're going to find an Overlord again, which is going to hamper this aggression from JimRising a little, he's just so... Oh my god, he's actually not even getting a Banshee or anything. It's just the Viking on this starport. That's going to do next to nothing when all these lings and roaches come in. So...
Oh man, this is going to be so awkward. However, though, he's actually going to be able to... Oh no, he pulls away at the last second. And that means that he's not going to have any intel on these roaches whatsoever. He's only caught eye of some of these spearlings moving across the map. And now the roaches have been revealed. The Massacre will have to go down. Nice pullback micro here so far from JimRising. And the Hellions are actually trapped on the wrong side of the wall as more lings stream on in. And he can start focus firing down buildings here.
Yeah, switching which building he's focus firing, so the SCVs have to do the same with their repair. And it looks like he's just gonna break through the bunker, getting through those juicy Marines inside. Meanwhile, the Hellions fighting their best outside the roaches across the other side of the map. But the big point of this Viking is it can be mass repaired by the SCVs, can heal tanks there, but not if the roaches just kill it first. 2 Hellbats do more fuck, and they can do a lot better against the roaches. But I don't know. It looks like it's just gonna be enough. But more reinforcements coming in from JimRising.
Yeah, however, the Hellbats on the right-hand side here, the Hellions that were actually initially trapped on the wrong side of things, do come back here to save the day, as the roaches inside Apocalypse's base have been cleaned up. However, though, more lings stream on, reinforcements here from JimRising is much quicker than for that of Apocalypse. And right now, both of these guys neck in terms of supply, 55 to 48. As JimRising actually mismicroing a little bit there, suffering some extra splash damage from those Hellbats.
Yeah, going straight into the middle of all those 4 Hellbats, and Apocalypse is just going to be able to actually finish this wall off. Trapping the roaches inside, trapping the lings outside, and allowing the Vikings, the Hellbats, to far away from the safety of the other side of that wall. And the question is, as the aggression finishes, has JimRising done enough damage?
No, definitely not. You know, he was working with 26 drones. And sure, Apocalypse traded off a handful of SCVs, but they were only 9 total. He's got mules, and he's also continuously been making SCVs. Sure, we've got a few extra roaches doing some more damage here, right outside the natural. But he has no third base.
Yeah,
the transition here for JimRising is going to be a mutalist build, but the question is Apocalypse going to allow him to even get there?
It's tough to say. Apocalypse hasn't shown any signs of moving out just yet, and he does have to deal with these couple roaches here first. But I'm going to say backup plan being Mutalisks. Apocalypse, he's been building a few Vikings. He hasn't actually switched into medevacs, and it's possible JimRising could catch Apocalypse off guard without any anti-air. But Apocalypse just has so much to lose that he can afford to, you know, tank a couple SCVs while he waits for Thors or something. But
I mean, look at that. He sees everything as well. Sees the Spire. and triple Hellbat drop, 6 in total.
Can't hold him
Heading on
alone.
a mission, and now the third base has gone down here for JimRising, but it's still so late. He's on 43 drones, 32 army supply to 18, and this is going to be a really hard attack to stop. Bear in mind as well that we've seen more roaches and lings being produced here for Apocalypse. He's going to go for it. He's right to stop with it's on the ground. A lot of splash damage is going to go down. It will be enough though.
What a surround. Every single one of those Hellbats firing. We're getting all their splash damage down. And not a single Hellbat is lost in that engagement. Demolishing what remained of the Zerg army. He could even kill the Spire before it gets a chance to build any Mutalisks.
He's going for the focus fire right now. A couple of roaches are happening. Is he going to go for it? Is he going to be able to pick up the Spire? Yeah, he gets this.
Yes.
This is a massive pick up. Oh my god, it is going to go down. Just goes down to the last second, but it's not going to be enough. 5 Hellbats, there's way too much damage. And you know what? He can just pick up and get right out of there.
Or even into the natural mineral line. And he drops down there. No drones go down, but he's just keeping this harassment pressure on his opponent. 2 Mutalisks is all that JimRising managed to start there. And that's just not going to be enough to turn the tide against Apocalypse.
He's up to 97 supply at this point. Going into mech, tanks in production, +2 vehicle attack as well. Doing decent damage here to the third base as well. On top of that, now he's going to take these Hellbats and get right out of that. He's achieved what he was looking to do, and he is in an absolutely excellent position at this point. This army, the Grand Army here for Apocalypse, there's no way that JimRising can contest with this, and even a decent number of Vikings in the air here to counter the only single pair of Mutalisks that are out, and they might even actually go down if he's not careful with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think almost as soon as Apocalypse decides to actually move out and end the game is when the game ends. But he's going to play it safe. There's nothing that JimRising can actually do to him, so there's no real reason to kind of risk it on, I don't know, like a borrow trap or anything crazy that JimRising could pull off. But JimRising is going to try and take a 4th base here. He knows he has to play as greedy as he possibly can to make his way back into the game, especially when he's up against mech. It's such a economical, kind of grindy game, Zerg versus mech, that you really, really want to have a much, much more powerful economy than your opponent. And with JimRising only having 3 more workers, that's not enough to do the sort of throwing army away remaxing that Zerg versus mech really requires. But 2nd Spire finished and 12 Mutalisks on the way to join the 2 already on the field. It's possible he might be able to get some decent damage down. There's not too many turrets.
I see 1 in the main, 1 on the edge there as well of the base. Scan goes down, reveals that there are in fact a couple of extra Mutalisks now in the field, knows that there is a new Spire build, +1 air attacks also being researched here, and blown reconstitution for these roaches as well. Now the dynamic between what we're seeing, that very quick 4th base being taken there for JimRising, because like you mentioned, he has to play very greedy contra how passive Apocalypse is. If he moves out a bit too early, then it's very easy to overwhelm the mech army. But sure, JimRising plays greedy, but this gives Apocalypse more time to start going for that 200 max. And when the mech army reaches that point, like a 3 base all in with a mech army like this is just so mind-boggling. I mean, it's so powerful. It's so hard to stop for a Zerg. Like, even if you're on 4 bases, you're max. Like, the way that how this army is so cost efficient and so straight up strong in an engagement, it's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And oh, he might get a huge clump on those drones. They do stop bunching up just in time, but still, when these 2 Hellbats have taken out 13 drones, you're not happy if you're doing like that.
No, definitely not. That was very painful. Drone count is pretty good though. I mean, he's on 78 and he's going to go up to above 80. So in terms of army supply, he's going to have a little bit of a smaller army than you don't really see. But another drop is going in here, so let's see how much damage you can find with these Hellbats again.
Yeah, the drone pool isn't there for a little while, so 5 drones go down before they do make it out. 6 comes in as well, but with these Mutalisks arriving, it'll be pretty easy to take it all down. Medevac shouldn't be able to get away, just draw the Mutalisks away for a little while, but Apocalypse's army is just terrifying. There's rank upon rank of Hellbats, a ton of Thors to deal with those Mutalisks, and with +2 on the Thors, they're going to be 2-shotting those Mutalisks in an AoE. Just 1 small clump on those Mutas from JimRising, and they will all evaporate under the power of 4 Thors.
Yeah, we've got even more on the way. 3 more in production right now. 4th base is being constructed as well behind all of this for Apocalypse, and I think that he's going to be moving out very shortly, man. He's at 190 supply, +2 attacks, and +1 armor. And what do we have here for JimRising? He's going to have 1/1 ground, +2 flyer attacks, but it's not going to be... I mean, it's not going to be enough. There's no way that he can actually take a straight-up engagement. He's going to be forced to sort of try to play ring around the rosy with this army. There's no way he can survive a frontal engagement.
No, even if he catches Apocalypse on siege, there aren't even that many tanks in the army. Just
more Thors and Hellbats.
Yeah, Thor Hellbat. Typically a more aggressive style of mech, and oh my god, this is so many Thors. 7 Thors out right now. Still another one on the way. JimRising looks like maybe we'll get a tank. Maybe not.
I realize this is his mistake there. Ton of turrets though. On the right hand side, they're making sure that there is literally no possible angle whatsoever for JimRising to come in and do some economical damage. And now Apocalypse is at that max, man. He's going to have +3 attack, +2 armor, and a blue flame to go with this as well. So this army is so powerful. However, though, JimRising, he's still in this. He's a 170 supply, and he's got a 5th base on the way together with that hive. His upgrades are also going to start looking fairly decent shortly. However, though, is he going to be looking for that move? Look at that. Oh, got so much damage.
It just pops so quickly. Getting 10 range of those Thors, and the javelin missiles streak out. There is not much in the air that can contend with the combined firepower of 9 Thors. Nucleus certainly don't do a great job. Even if JimRising had like the dream magic box, and these Thors were in high impact payload mode, it would be a tough fight. Apocalypse is pushing out now. JimRising can take engagement on creep, can take engagement as favourable as he likes. He can try and focus down a lot of these Vikings.
And catches a few there, very nice. These Hellbats, man, they're doing so much damage and they're soaking up a lot of that damage. Those though, they sure they deal a lot of damage, but as you can see, the Hydraulics really, oh my god, those connections from the Thors though to those mutants, and all of them go down. The Hydraulics on top of this ramp have been doing a pretty good job as most of the buffer in terms of how that's have them down, and now the Vikings are going to be landing. Is Apocalypse throwing with his engagement a little bit? I feel like it, because he cleans up the first bulk of the army, but we have 26 more roaches in production here.
That's a lot of roaches, and these pop, if they can all get together at the same time, should be able to overwhelm Apocalypse's army. It's a little surprising, but it's going to happen. Siege tank sieges up, immediately gets focused down there by JimRising, only gets a shot or so off. Apocalypse can trade out these Thors as best he can, but oh my god, they're whipping these roaches actually. It's not enough, the Thors are too powerful. 3 Thors!
Yeah, that's it. And Apocalypse takes this series 3-0. He's going to be our 2nd victor of tonight's fight night, which leaves us with only 1 more series remaining here. And that is, of course, going to be Salvation, who's going to face off against Armani in a best out of 7, guys.
7, yep, the main event. And, of course, given that it was, of course, the tournament